Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. It is a Monday night. I got to move this and make sure it's still working. But anyway, we're starting a little early today. I'm just going to check and make sure that's working. It sure is. And here we go. We are starting an hour early. I will have Joe Exotic on the phone at 9 p.m. He's calling me from prison, wants to talk, and we'll see what's new with Joe Exotic. Last time I talked to him was the day of the inauguration. So we'll see what's happening there. See if I'm sure he's looking to get his pardon, I'm sure. So anyway, starting an hour early, we'll get cruising right through, and I bet some people like that nighttime note because that was fire. AIRE and some other big ones on that note right there. So that was a beauty. And first, here we go. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. Always do your due diligence. And here we go, everybody. That's what the heat map looked like. Microsoft was flat, NVIDIA down, Google up, Meta up, Amazon up, and Apple up a little bit right there. And they were looking a little better during the day. And you can see Apple was up. I actually did like that, but we have to I mean, it does look good. Apple's still looking pretty good right there, I must say. And let me claim that back so I can have this. And there we go. And here we go. Let's just look at Apple real quick. I'm curious, and that does look really good right there. So Apple looking pretty good to run up. Anyway, let's cruise through our list, see what's going on, what's going to be popping. Let me know if you guys want to see anything. And like I said, we'll cop off before 9 o'clock so I can hop on the phone with Joe Exotic and I will actually make a video like I did last time. He said he did not want to do it. He couldn't do a spaces. So here we go. Let's look at it, Zach, RKT. And that's Rocket Companies, the mortgage company. I think we just looked at it the other day. And that's looking pretty good right there, up $1 and cruising right along. So there you go at RKT, and that's not looking bad for tomorrow. As a matter of fact, I saw that on my scanner yesterday, so that would have been a good popper right there. And just to show you something real quick, I'm telling you what, this Fed decision is looking better and better for 0.25. This looks like it's going to jump off a cliff up here, this blue one. And that is your no change, and your red is your 0.25. And it looks like it's about to curl up big time. So just showing you that. I was looking at them, and that is that one. So here we go. Let's start with the list because GVH reverse split and popping in the after hours. It was up like $3-4 a little bit ago. I'm not sure what it's up right now. And let me hop on GVH. And here you go. 708 to 1230. Its low is 550 today. And it closed. It's at 982 right now. And like I said, it was up. It did reverse split. And there you go. Just like we were talking about, Robin, if you're on. I'm not sure if you're on here, but that's what we look for on the reverse splits and why we don't like to get into them beforehand. You can still see it may still run up, but you would probably be down on it because it just it dilutes it so much and they pull back. So there you go, Robin. How are you this evening? And so yeah, that's what we look for. So we look for the reverse splits on purpose, but and when they reverse split that day, they like to get set up. We like to get at. We don't like to be in them or anywhere near them right before. And again, we didn't want to announce a reverse split because we knew it would pull back, but that's what happens. They reverse split and then go flying. So just wanted to show you something right there and why we look at them when they're reverse splitting and not beforehand. So that is what happened there. And here we go. Let's cruise along. Robin, did you see that nighttime note? That was crazy, man. It was I had everything on there. You could have hit AIRE. I forget the rest of them, but all of them were popping up there. It was a beauty. And I'll be doing that every night. So that'll be really good in the Discord. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy that. And just on the first night, it was popping. So here we go. Let's cruise right through so we can get wrapped up. And like I said, I'm going to talk to Mr. Joe Exotic. If you have any questions, post them up real quick and I'll surely ask them. And like I said, I'll make a video and have it up for tomorrow morning probably because it'll be late and nobody will be looking at it if I post it late night. So I'll just wait until the morning to post it up so people can see it. Until I choke and die. That was great. Sorry, guys. Just choked on water. Holy cow. There you go. What do you go to prison for? He actually went to prison for they had a bunch of felonies, I guess, but they really put him away for a hire for hit on Carol Baskin. So that's what his main felony was. So yeah, that's what he's in, really in for prison. And then they hit him with all kinds of like animal cruelty charges and stuff like that. And there you go. And I must excuse me, I must die drinking water there. I can't I can't escape death here, huh? That's it comes my way everywhere. No, I'm just kidding. That was crazy though. I definitely was choking on that. Here we go. BTOG ran up early this morning, and we'll see if it wants to stay in the top. It has that look like it could bounce back up, but obviously you want to be locking in profits when you're getting in down here in like the 15s and it's running up to like 92. So that's what you wanted to do with that BTOG. And again, it could roll up a little bit more, but I don't know if you want to take that chance right there. It is a cryptocurrency, crypto on Doge, and they want to become the micro strategy of Dogecoin. So they're trying to buy a bunch of that. So we'll be keeping an eye on it. I know Zach and Terps Trader's been all over that one. IXHL, big jump up today. It got up until like the 90s, right? Then it jumped up early this morning. It was like way up. Let me see right here. Yeah, 99. I thought it almost hit $1 and it started at 60, but we were way early to the party on this one. Doge Mama 9 knew definitely like this one there. And you may actually get a little more action tomorrow. We'll have to see and what's going on with that one. But that was a good run up. How's it going, Jason Goshman? How are you this evening? And let's keep on cruising through an OST. Here we are. I'm telling you guys, this thing, I just keep watching this thing. It keeps pulling back. It was setting up to be in a perfect spot right there. And maybe that's the dip and rip. So I would keep an eye on this tomorrow morning, guys. This OST right here, it has that look like it could get cruising. So I'm definitely been watching it. I've been putting a line next to it like every day. Not that it's just getting there, and I think it might be there. So we'll be keeping an eye on this OST. Watch for that one, guys, early in the morning. That could be a runner right there. And OCGN just kind of jumping around today, and we know it's kind of setting up right here. It will jump up and keep going up higher. And we were all over that one. That was a beauty. ABVE above food ingredients right here is pulling back. Looks like it might have a little little more healthy pull back there, and then try to get set back up. But we'd have to look at it as it pulls back, and that's not it. It's this right here, ABVE. So you can see it pulling back right there. Maybe it comes down to 180s or so. So it might come out of the $2 range right there for ABVE. And let's see what's going on with the rest of our list real quick. We'll just cruise right through. QMCO, it was down a little bit. It didn't look terrible. And I mean, these things are interesting right here. These quantum and computer hardwares, they were running up the other day, a little healthy pullback. And we'll see what happens tomorrow with them. RGTI pulling back right there as well. Kind of the same scene out of the top. So we'll see if it wants to curl back up. QUBT, that quantum computing, also pulling back right there. And then your QBTS, which is D-Wave. And this had been running up really well. It ran up early this morning and then started to pull back a little bit. And your quantum one, Defiance ETF, QTUM. And this looks like I've been saying, like topped out. And I'm telling you, all of these guys almost look topped out. And this IONQ looks like it was trying to get set up. It looked beautiful yesterday, to be honest with you. It did run up a little bit, 46.81 to 47.72. And then it came down into the 44. So we'll see. Maybe it comes down and it's a good opportunity the next day or two, but it might be dipping down here. And there's a heavy lineup tomorrow with lots of action. That is for sure. Luis Rodriguez, how are you, and everybody else? And of course, there are tons of earnings coming up. That is for sure. So here we go. Let's keep on cruising through. So that's some computer hardware and quantum ones right there. And let's look at that holo. It was looking pretty good yesterday and pulling back some today. So it did come underneath that 20. I noticed it, but it's coming down. We'll have to see if it's getting set up to roll up. And I don't think it'll happen tomorrow there. So we'd have to look at that for the next day or two, maybe 3, towards the end of the week to see if it's getting set up for next week. And let's look at United Health right here. And I do think this is trying to bottom out. And again, they do have their earnings coming up. Maybe we just wait for that. I don't think it's popping up 40 earnings necessarily. We'll keep an eye on it. The earnings are next week, July 29th. which is what, next Tuesday or something. How quick is July flying through? And this is what I'm always talking about, why we were always looking 3 months ahead. And I don't know why, but the stock charts kind of run 3 months. Maybe the 4 quarters, I'm not sure, but you can just kind of see what's going on 3 months. And you guys know I'm usually 2 to 3 weeks early, but I can definitely tell 3 months ahead of time what's happening for the most part, unless something major happens. And then we usually see that happening too. But UNH right here trying to get bottomed out, and definitely keeping an eye on that for that recovery and that reversal up. And your GRYP coming down a little bit. I was talking about this on the small cap show, and I know some of you were tuned in. Appreciate that. Doge Mama 9, I saw her on it. I actually gave her a shout out because of the silver. I was talking about it. So you guys know I give credit where credit's due. And Doge Mama 9 had told me about it and said, hey, check this out. And it was setting up and getting crazy. That next day it popped up, and it's been looking good ever since. But we'll go through a little bit of that in a little bit. GRYP right here, like I said, just let it pull back a little bit. Great support. This thing's going to get crazy, guys. You can already see that getting set up, and that's the Trump family crypto business. And PEW, that grab a gun with Trump Jr. on the board on this, pulling down. We were talking about this as well, and I would look for it. It could be bottoming out there. Just touched itself in the basement. You know, they like to pull out, and maybe it bases out for a few days and gets set up. So I'll be keeping an eye on that as well. PEW right there, and that PSQH. Let's see what that is doing. It did pull back a little bit right there. Watch for it to set up, though. I watched this one to get rolled off. So maybe a couple more days with this. So they did run up, and then now they're like kind of pulling back a little bit, getting that reset up and trying to give us that look what exactly is going to happen. And here's that Clover Health looking real good, like we had talked about. It was up 5% and then another 10 in the after hours. So there you go, Michael Anthony. Not sure if he's on early today, but 295 to 348. It's at 343 and it's up there. So that one we were watching and knew it was setting up. So there you go. And RBNE not looking bad. It was pulled back today. And I'm telling you, these energy ones, just a little bit of pullback, but they're going to get set up, guys. And I'll just show you Gush right here. It was pulling back a little bit today as well to the 50. You might have a little more pullback here. They look like they're trying to get set up either here or that thing's going to get set up here, and they'll have to be like 2-3 weeks away. So they didn't look that way the other day. They looked a little better, and then they pulled back. So again, I'll be keeping an eye on the oil and gas, but they're definitely going to be getting set up. We might be 3 weeks early again, so I'm just trying to time them out and not jump into them too early, and that's why we've been keeping an eye on these guys. So there you go, a Gush and Soundhound right here. SOUN was down, and that looks like it was a little healthy. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that one tomorrow as well, because this one could have that bounce, and that's not it. That's SOUB. I don't know what that is. I don't know why I clicked off of it either. But let me just substitute that B for an N, and then we get to it right there, and you can see it's playing bouncy up there. And maybe we do get that bounce off tomorrow. So we'll be watching it. Tomorrow's going to be an interesting day. Powell speaking, and maybe he resigns. I'm telling you, something crazy's going on, and I've been seeing it for like 2-3 weeks. You guys know that. And I generally do pick something out there, and I'm usually a little early. So let's see what happens there. Oscar, and I said that 3 weeks ago, is he going to resign? Because the charts were looking a little crazy back then. And here is Oscar Health right here pulling back. That looks like it could have bottomed out yesterday, but it could still have a little bit of pullback here. So I am just watching it and going to time it out a little bit better. As you can see, that 20 coming down, and maybe we get a little curl up right here in the next few days up to the 50, and it runs up, but I don't think it's exactly ready just yet. But Oscar Health right here, we will be keeping an eye on that one, because that one's down. And again, just like UNH, and we'll just look at Pfizer real quick, PFE, and look at that, because that was a little bit of pullback. And again, another one going to get set up. And also, what the heck is it called? I can't even think of it. It's what the heck's the other one? That's a big one. Moderna. That's it. I can't even think of the mRNA. I couldn't think of either of it, the name or the stock ticker. For whatever reason, my mind was blank. But that's pulling back as well, and you see it coming back to the 20. So there you go with that bad boy right there, and mRNA. So. Oh, sorry, laptop travel. Yeah, I'm just going to do tonight's show at 8 o'clock because I'm going to be talking to Joe Exotic in like 40 minutes or so, and he's calling in, not to the show because he can't do it on the spaces. He has to just give me a call on my phone and I'll record it, make a video, and then you guys can listen to that tomorrow morning. So I hopped on an hour early just to cruise through, see what was going on in the markets, and go through everything really quick here. But there's Moderna and all them health ones. And anyway, here's Hims right here. So I hope you guys are having a good night. Hims pulling back a little bit, but does look pretty healthy. But again, guys, I am telling you, something's going on. And you can see them all were running up and then pulling back right there, like Snapchat. And we had that running up, and you see that one coming back down August 5th. That's a popular day too. But the earnings kind of start tomorrow, that's for sure. And that is our Snapchat. So we'll be watching that one. And let's just run through real quick. Here's Bull. And I thought Bull was looking a little better yesterday, to be completely honest with you. And it did not run up a little bit today. It just kind of came back down. As you can see, yesterday it was running up. And then today it opened at 1596 to 1660 and then back down into the 14. So that one is pulling back. It kind of looks healthy, to be honest with you. But we'll have to be watching that one. I'll have to look at it tomorrow. And how about this one, guys? Opendoor. We talked about it for a few days here. I given it out on the small cap show for the last few weeks. So we were way down there in the 50s. This thing ran up over 100% while I was on the small cap show today at 1 o'clock. It was up over 115% or something. I forget what it was, but it was way up there today just alone. So yeah, it opened 278, ran the 497 right there. And that is your Opendoor. And obviously I was way early on the Opendoor right there. And another one, DNN, that I talked about on the small cap show, kind of just getting up there, but it's run up there pretty well. And there you go with that. And UPXI not looking bad right here, running up today and going to get set up. Watch for any little pullback, but that's looking pretty good right there. And I think they have a Solana treasury. And guess what? Solana was ripping today. And I'll just show you crypto since we're there. Look at Solana. It was hitting like 200s today, 199.55. It was right there. Remember, I told you guys that Solana was getting set up to blast off. We've picked every single one as they've run up. Bitcoin, a little healthy pullback there. I was saying that. And then Ethereum was running up, but that could have a little healthy pullback. And look at Solana getting ripping into the top there. Ripple as well looks like it wants to rip up a little more. That's what we were talking about. Doge not looking bad. We were saying that. Cardano has been running up there, and there you go with that bad boy. And XLM still not bad right there, making a pretty good base, but might come down. Chainlink was in the 20s today, and it's in the top. We'll see what that one wants to do. SUI, not too bad, but we'll see. It might be pulling back. And your Optimism OP right here is hitting that top. So there you go with a little crypto action. And I know our ETF was at like 2.2 million a little bit ago. It was up earlier, a little bit higher. Someone sold a bunch of it. I don't know what goes on, but someone keeps selling it. But anyway, it's at 2.3, and I'm telling you, it's looking pretty damn good. And I did say that the other day, that double bottom. So that's what I was looking at, and it immediately moved right there. So the charts don't lie, and that thing could have some big green wicks up coming up. So keep an eye on that. And here we go. Let's just keep on cruising as we looked at UPXI and LTBR. Let me take a look at Lightbridge right here. That's a nice little pullback today as well. So a lot of these guys were pulling back, looking a little crazy. Lulu right here was pulling back. I did see that one coming down today. And this MMM3M company right here, this one we looked at the other day, it ran up, came down. It's starting to hit that support line, and I'm interested in this tomorrow as well. So That one I'm going to keep an eye on right there. MMM and Laptop Travel brought that to our attention the other day. And how about Applied DNA Sciences or something? Applied Digital Corp. That's what it is. I couldn't think of it. Applied Digital Corp right here, and that's getting set up. Might see a little more healthy pullback, but that's really good right there. I would say that's looking pretty nice to get set up. And Wang and Lee was finally up a little bit more. And I don't know what I'm typing in, but here's Wang and Lee right here. And that was running up in a little more in the after hours right there. So there you go. We were definitely early to the party on the Wang and Lee party right there. You know that. And that looks like it's going to run up a little more tomorrow for some momentum, I must say. And then how about this one? Mentioned it last night. A little momentum play right there. This thing ran like wild today. So this was in the night note right there, 885 to 1230, and it's at $8 right there. So that was a beauty as well. And here we are with AIRE. I put that in the note as well, and that one went flying up 21 cents to 98 cents. It's at 42 right now, and that was crazy, guys. So AIRE, that ran up over like 300%, I think. So yeah, that was up here 347% change right there. So that one got ripping today, and that was on there. Couple other ones, CLF. Let's look at that. I just put that down tonight, and we'll look at Cleveland Cliffs. That was looking pretty good to run up in the top. So keep an eye on that for a little momentum play right there. And of course, our Deckers right here was looking pretty good, looking pretty healthy right there, I must say. So keep an eye on Deckers. And the CPRT is trying to get set up right here. Copart, you can keep an eye on this thing. You can see it looks like it's trying to bottom out, roll up, looking pretty decent. CPRT and AZO AutoZone is looking good right here. Wait, I was going to say that's not it. This is it, AZO. I didn't think that was the chart, but that's the chart right there for AutoZone. And this thing appears to be cruising up there, looking pretty good. Looks like it wants to bounce off of that 3,755. I know it is an expensive one, AutoZone, but it is looking pretty good if anyone's interested in one of them big guys. Right there, I put it in there for you. And Coca-Cola, I don't know what the heck I'm typing, but there's Coca-Cola, and that's getting set up as well, guys. You can see this curling up, not looking bad. So pulled out a couple good ones, and I'm going to do this each night so you guys can see some different ones, and we won't even go through all the same ones all the time anymore. We'll just switch it up and pick out the poppers and get rolling. And like I said, that night note's going to be crazy. So it was wild last night. It'll continue to be great. And BNRG, good old Brent Miller right here trying to curl up, not looking too bad. So you might want to watch that one right there. Looking pretty good for that. And how about ABP right here? That one was trying to curl up as well, looking pretty good. And I know we looked at it the other day, ABP, and it is setting up right here. So there you go. Remember, it spiked up, and now it looks pretty good to get moving right there. So keep an eye on this. And this CHSN, I saw some chatter about this guy, and that is that Chanson International right here. And that looks like it wants to get rocking and rolling. Not sure what's going on here. That was a public offering back then, but this one actually looks pretty good as a penny stock. CHSN right here. So keep an eye on that because that looks like it might want to keep the momentum as well. So that is your Chanson International. And there you go with them guys. And let's see real quick. I'm just going to roll through, show you a couple things real quick. Here's our futures. Our VIX is just kind of hanging out right here. We already looked at our crypto. You can see it, though. Look at that interesting look right there. It's curled through, and it looks like it wants to get cruising again. So I am watching that. UVXY, take a quick look at it and see. It is dipped down a little bit, but wow, if that doesn't look like a little bottom, then it's going to be a reversal type move right there. It sure does. And SPXS, SPXSS. What am I doing? There you go, to Bear 500. And this thing way down there. And look at that look right there, guys. So I'm telling you, they have that look. They've had it for a little bit. It was jumping out at me. But yeah, now they really have a crazy look. So absolutely want to keep an eye and be careful with all them. And what else did I want to show you guys? Something this is what I wanted to show you right here, the metals and stuff right here. Gold This is looking pretty good to bounce up. It was looking really good today, actually, and it looks like it kind of slowed down a little bit. Silver again was looking really hot and still looking pretty decent to run into the top right there. Good old platinum was looking pretty good today. So these guys were looking way better today. They jumped up and now they just kind of stopped out there. Copper wasn't bad as well, and palladium right there was trying to get set up. You can see it in the top, looks flat, but it looks like it wants to roll up a little higher. So I wanted to just look at them guys. And there's our energy right here. You can see these things, and our natural gas was kind of pulling back. I like these new looks on Finviz. It works out well. The indices, I can take a look at that real quick and see what's going on. That looks like it's going up. Isn't that Japan's or something? The Nikkei 2022-25 or something like that. And the let's see. And look at that VIX right there. You can see something's going on. It jumps out at you. And these guys are way up there. These guys could come back down at any moment. And even look at your bonds. They were running up yesterday, all of them. Look at that. Your 30, 10, 5-year, and 2-year notes. And they're just a little healthy pullback. So I'm telling you, something's going on there. And we did the metals and all that good stuff. So there you go. Oh, this is what I was looking at. Japan, this thing was looking really good. A little healthy pullback there today. So that currency was looking good. So yeah, I've been looking at all these things and it's been fun. Look at Bitcoin way up there, making a base. And there you go with them. And let's just see what you guys have to see real quick. I want to look at real fast, and I'll run through some of the SPY big caps, and I'll hop off and get ready to talk to Joe Exotic right there this evening. And like I said, I'll put a video together. He can't do a spaces, so I'll just record it and do it that way. So here we go. And we did look at that RKT. And let's see what else. Luis Rodriguez, what else are we looking at? DPZ right here was all over the place. What was that one? Domino's Pizza, yeah, that was all over the place. Holy cow, look at that thing running up, pulling back. I'm telling you, all kinds of crazy stuff going on in this market. You could totally see it. And BT, these things look like they're pulling back, Rob. And I'm not going to lie, Bit Digital and some of these BTCTs and stuff, you can see that one's pulling back, that one's pulling back. And that's why I don't really like to chase any of these guys necessarily when Bitcoin's way up. These ones end up kind of getting lagged behind. If they don't run up like they did that first time when we saw them, like this one, for example, this BTCT in November, and we had it back here and it ran up to like $22. If they don't run initially, like this one just popped right off, they generally get lagged behind. I'm not exactly sure. Some of them did pop off. Don't get me wrong. You can see it when they run up, but then they just definitely come back down. It's the same thing kind of like with Mara and Riot and them. They're the mining companies, and like I said, they just don't. They're not that profitable, especially right now. They definitely aren't. It takes so much energy and cost and overhead again to do this stuff that you're just not. And they get paid like it's a fraction of what they mine. It's weird. If you look into it, the mining stuff, I was never interested in it. But anyway, it gets less and less as they have too. And you get to the end of the mining, so like end of mining new coins, it becomes less and less reward. So yeah, these things, they don't get paid that much and they spend a ton of money. And so they do run up. They're great, but in that fact, but they don't get crazy. Like I don't think they're gonna run like they did the last time. I know these things, what Riot and Mara were like all the way down to 2 and ran up to like $100. I mean, maybe they get up there, but right now they're pulling back. You can see it trying to top out right there for Riot and Mara. And again, Bitcoin, these things have run up substantially. And when they do that, you know you're going to see a little pullback, whether it's a little healthy or if it's a big pullback. I think they're just coming back healthy. Your 20s right there at a 114, and your 50 or your 200s down there at like 109. So you can have a little bit of pullback right here. And it made a heck of a base up here as well. But you can see sometimes when they get based out, they get a little heavy and pull back a little bit. But like I said, it could hold itself right up here and get cruising and make some space on the chart. So I'm not that concerned about that. Ethereum, look at these things just running in the top. And like I said, Solana's getting ripping and should rip a little higher tomorrow there. So that's what they look like. And like I said, Oh yeah, talking about BT and some of them things, the computer hardware and these capital markets, they run with crypto, but you got to time them out right. And once they get up a certain, when they run so much like this guy did, it did have some healthy pullback and ran up. We'll see. It may get running off of that 20 again there, Robin, and have a little pullback. So it really depends if what Bitcoin's going to do at this point. If that's going to be a little healthy pullback, roll right up and get cruising, this should try to run back up a little bit. But that's what's the problem with these guys. They rely so much on crypto, and even if Bitcoin runs a bunch, these could still stall behind. So that's what I was trying to say before. It just wasn't coming out right. But yeah, so you got to be careful, but they are great ones to watch if the setup's perfect, like how this thing was curling up here, running off that bottom, and then yeah, but you can't stay in these guys forever. And again, these things they cost so much money to basically mine things. I don't know what BTBT does, but I just know like Mara and Riot and them things. It costs way too much money to mine things. And Jason was saying, wasn't Carol Baskin supporting a full pardon for Joe? I'm sure she knew she made a lot more money off the new season of Tiger King. I'm not even sure, was she? I have no idea. I didn't hear that, but I'll have to check it out, Jason. And yeah, I'm sure she would make a ton more money off of that stuff. It's wild. And so Laptop Travel, how are you? NXPI. Let's see what that's doing right here. NXPI. And that's yeah, and that was trying to get cruising right there. You could see it trying to get set up, and now I don't think it's going to make it through that MACD. And obviously, look at that. I didn't even look at it, but it did pull back right there in the after hours, and here you come down to the 50. So this is what I was talking about. And if you were playing it a little aggressive and these things turn around like that tomorrow, it's going to not be good. And this is what I've been warning about for a few days and even a week or two. And you just can't tell sometimes. But I'm a couple weeks early, and you can see something was going on. I can tell you that. So tomorrow is absolutely going to be an interesting morning, and I'm looking forward to just seeing what the 7 o'clock hour looks like, and even maybe that 4 a.m. And there's our GTI, a little pullback. We talked about it out of the top. We'll see if it can get cruising again. And so there you go. Not happy with Seeking Alpha doing hack jobs on RGTI. Is that what they did today? I didn't even see that. Sinks, let's see. Just hit new quantum milestone, D-Way, do. And not sure, but I'm sure they probably did. I just don't see it on here. And there you are. So yeah, RGI, a little bit of pullback right there. And Robin, how'd I get connected with Joe? He actually just hit me. Joe Exotic hit me up, asked me to do the show before the first time, and then we just started talking, I guess, and then he hit me up the other day and said, "Hey, can I come on the show and do another show?" And I said, "Yeah, of course, let's do it. We haven't done one in a little while, so I'd be more than happy to hear what you have to say again." So yeah, and I think he started following me. Honestly, he started following me. I think because of Zach Morris, because they were following each other, and Zach was talking about him, and then all of a sudden Joe Exotic started following me, hit me up. We did the first interview and first call. I thought that went pretty well. It was pretty good. And yeah, so I guess he liked it because he wants to come back and talk again. So I'm more than happy to talk to him and excited. So yeah, I'll talk to him in a little bit. And then, like I said, I'll record it so I can post it up, make a video real quick and post it up for you guys. So there you go. And that's how that happened, Robin. And Open looks great to continue its price action. And it doesn't look bad, that's for sure, right there. And look at it. So we'll look at it tomorrow morning. I would get out before the earnings, obviously, that August 5th. I mean, how many? There must be like 500 earnings that day. It seems like everything we click on is that August 5th. But anyway, look for it in the morning, guys. It could spike up a little bit more, but you got to be careful after that big run up. And again, way early on that we were. So that was crazy. MEDP, what is that? Up bigly in the after hours. What is that up to? MEDP. I'm not even sure what it is. MedPace Holdings, and you're holy shit, you're right. It is up real big, huh? Only like $150 something right there. MEDP. We have to check this out. I don't even know what it is there, but wow, MedPace went nutty. Holy cow! They must have had some kind of news went crazy. You bro, today. Their earnings made a jump like that. Holy cow, that's some strong QT right there. What did they do? Like diagnostics and research. So I'm not sure what they did, but whatever they did, it was done right. That's for sure because that thing jumped up pretty significantly right there. And so there you go, MEDP. I'm not familiar with it, but there you go, yeah, Luis Rodriguez. And let's see what's going on. And I think Robin, which one were you guys talking about right there with I'm not sure which one you guys are talking about. Oh, RGTI. Yeah, that one definitely did pull back right there. And let's see. It could just be healthy as your 20 curls up. We'll see what it looks like tomorrow. And it could just have to take a couple more minutes, days. I mean, a couple more minutes, a couple more days to set up there. So I'll definitely keep an eye on that one. And Laptop Travel has said he's pretty confident in RGTI, and I do look at the dips on it, so I'll be watching that bad boy. That is for sure. And if you like gold, you have to start loving lithium. So pull up some good lithium ones. And this and GRYP is the Trump family's Bitcoin mining stock. So there you go. Thank you, Laptop Travel. I wasn't sure what the heck it was. I know it says Trump family something crypto is what it says on one of the things, the news stories, but you know how much I pay attention and read them all. But anyway, get us some good lithium ones there, Laptop Travel. That would be cool. And we'll definitely look at them. I was gonna say this one's nuclear, OKLO. I don't know. I just thought of it was lithium, but that's nuclear and that's dipping down there. And let's just see. What is lithium right here? Atlas, this is what I'm looking for. That's a battery one. And here's one right here. LAC, that's one. Let's see. That's pulling back. Yeah, pull up some of it. I'll pull up some of them later and we can take a quick look at them. So I'll try to hop off in like 10 minutes. So I'll run through the SPY Big Caps Mag 7 real quick, see what they're up to. And then, like I said, I'm just going to call it an early night because Joe's going to be calling from prison and I got to make sure I can take that call. So here we go. Let's just cruise right through and you know we'll be back at 7 a.m. and I'll have the video ready and we'll be ready to dissect this market and see what's going up because it's going to be an interesting one. It looked like it was trying to curl up. I'm not so sure it's getting into the top and curling up, guys. You guys know what I think. I just see the pullback happening. Some of them look pretty decent still, like Apple still could run up there. Amazon really wasn't looking too bad today. That has potential to run up a little bit more. And also Google would look good and still looks like it wants to run up. So I'm telling you, something's going on here. They're very odd. Meta was back up today. And at the same time, they all look like they want to come down. I mean, just look at Microsoft, for example. I mean, how much can this thing keep curling up and just keep looking like it wants to pull back? Something has to give there. And when it does, it's going to give. I can tell you that. You don't want to be stuck in it when it gives. You want to have it when it gets down to that bottom. And look at NVIDIA. Could be that situation where NVIDIA just drags everything down here. So we are definitely paying attention to these. You know that. And I'll be watching them like a hawk tomorrow. And here's your Tesla trying to get set up. And it looks like it's waiting to find out what it needs to do right there. So that is what we're looking at. And let's see what's going on. What's up, Pudgy Penguin? PENGU is 2 billion market cap for Walmart toy and NFT. That's crazy, Ricky Ricardo. I'm not even sure what that is, but it sounds pretty wild. I have to look into that. Pudgy Penguins. I don't even know what the hell that is, but we'll definitely have to check it out. It's a what was it? Walmart toy and an NFT. Huh. That's interesting. And yeah, that Microsoft, the Chandler is very top heavy there, guys. That is for sure. And here we go, AMC. Let's look at it. It was down a little bit, hitting a little resistance right there. So we will keep an eye on that one. And let's see what's happening with GameStop. That was jumped up today. And it was, remember we said it looked really good. There you go. That was up, and it looks like it might continue its way up there. So GameStop not looking bad. Chewy was still trying to get set up here. Was down a little bit. Maybe it's a little healthy pullback. I'll take a look at it. Might level down a little bit, looking like that. So I'll have to look at that. And Unity is going to be coming down. You can see that one. way up there, and that should be coming back down there. So, and Netflix wasn't too bad, I must say. It was trying to hop back up there. It was up a little bit. It's still under that 50 right there, and it still could pull back. So we'll keep an eye on Netflix, but I wasn't so. I thought it was pulling back, and I still think you might see that pull back right there. And AVGO, it was up pretty big this morning, still up, but look at it, hitting the top and trying to cross through. I'm not so convinced that these things are doing it. Today might have been that last hurrah, guys. Look at MU right here. That thing looks like it wants to get pushed down under that 110 and just keep on coming down there. And TSM right here is coming back down. That was in the top. And they all have a crazy look. We were talking about it on the small cap show. Ben was pointing it out. I've seen it for 2 weeks now, guys. You guys know that. I'm always a little early to the party, so I get to see these things a little early, I guess. I don't know. The charts just tell me different things, but you could see what was happening, and that's why I was being a little more cautious than I think some of the other people were, because they were running up. But yeah, I would be super cautious right here because it is looking like a little crazy right there. I'm not going to lie, but there's going to be some great opportunities. When these things come down, there's another sector will always pop up, so we'll just run around and nail them all. And here's that QCOM right here. And that is looking pretty good, though. But I'm still not sure or convinced that it's going to get through all that resistance and curl through the MACD. So very interesting right there. And there's Intel trying to run up a little bit today. And again, not exactly convinced. It doesn't look bad, but I'm not convinced. And PayPal has looked good, and it did run up a little bit. That one could still move up a little bit more. And how about snow? It had been coming down. It looks like snow is going to be coming down here. So that is what snow looks like. And Dell is running up right here, and that one's pulling back. It could be just healthy, but again, I'm just not convinced that these things really want to run up some more. And here's that Palantir pulling back a little bit. That one could bounce one more time, but just be careful because it is run up. And again, just because it's set up doesn't necessarily mean it's going to bounce if the market starts turning around right there. That's what it looks like. And here's your Sophie right here. And this is pulling back like we had thought. I doubt it's going to bounce up there tomorrow. We looked at Mara and Riot, and I was saying they're pulling back there. And if Bitcoin pulls back just to set up, these things end up pulling back pretty good, just because again they they don't make as much. I can't even think of the word I was thinking of, but yeah, they just whatever. They don't make as much because like I said, they're after they have and stuff. I'm trying to think of a certain word, and yeah, they're not going to perform, I don't think, like they did last time. I think they'll run up, but I don't think you see them really get as crazy. You can see it already. They run up and pull back pretty well, and yeah, the margins just aren't big enough for them. That's the word I was thinking of. And yeah, they just don't have that margins anymore for these companies, these crypto miners, to really get that big, I don't think, anyway. So we'll see what happens. But when they look good and they're going to run up, they run up pretty well. And we knew CleanSpark, Riot, and Mara were running up. Now I think you see a little bit of pullback. MicroStrategy is a little bit different, obviously. He's not really mining coins. He's just bought like the most ever. And it's just a little healthy pullback. Interesting when his earnings come up on July 31st, right at the end of the month. So it does look like it's going to crawl back up and run. So yeah, there you go with them guys. And here's Coinbase right here, was down. And even Hood. Oh, what did I type in right there? Good old Hood was down as well. And again, Bull was down a little bit too. And it was looking pretty good to continue up. So they did pull back. That Mountain was up today a little bit, trying to get set up. I'll have to look at it tomorrow. I'm not convinced. And McDonald's pulling back. It could get curled up there on the 20, but we'll have to see. And Boeing right there just hanging out. And again, this one could pull back right there. So you could be looking at some good pullback happening. And Space had looked good. And look at it. It's just taking off and it's not looking bad. Keep an eye on it tomorrow. It could continue to run up, as a matter of fact. And IBM was down some. It does not look bad, but again, I don't think it's getting set up to really run yet. And like they've been, Disney right here, I think is stair stepping its way down. So I think you're good, Luis Rodriguez. And Oxy, these things have been getting set up, but they did pull back a little bit more. And again, oil and gas, they were setting up great and they pulled back. I think it's going to be an extra week or two that they take to get set up. ExxonMobil, still a little pullback there. And Nike right here wasn't looking too bad, but I'm not convinced that one's going to get cruising. And DXYZ is trying to bottom out. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. And let's look at ABAT right here. That's a lithium one, ABAT. And American Battery, that one is popped up there today. And I'll have to look at that tomorrow after that pop up in ATLX. Let's see with Atlas Lithium. That one is going to get set up. Might have a little pullback while it sets up. And what is HSY doing right here? That one's cruising up. Oh, Hershey. I did see this today. And Hershey wasn't looking too bad. I gave up my chocolate milk too, so I haven't been paying attention to Hershey. But no, it's wasn't looking too bad right there, and it looks like it might continue its way up as well. So looking pretty good. And Disney playing tug of war with Luis Rodriguez. He don't know what's going on, and like I said, I think it will continue its way down. And I think these things are about to get topped out and start rolling back down after the Fed meeting. Wait for Trump to tweet something to spark the crypto markets. DJT bought $2 billion in Bitcoin and has plans to leverage more. DJT, PHUN, PSQH, and GRYP right there. And I agree. And like I've been telling you, crypto has been crazy, and you can see it's happening, guys. So there you go. I'm going to wrap it up so I can get ready. Talk to Joe Exotic because I'm not exactly sure. He says 9, but he's in prison, so who knows when he's going to get a chance to call. And I want to be ready for when he does call in. I'll record the call, make a quick video, and have that tomorrow morning. We'll look at the market at 7 a.m. and something's going on. Powell is speaking tomorrow, 8:30 tomorrow morning for the banks or something. I forget what the hell's going on, but something's going on. And you can just see things are happening here. So we are keeping an eye, and I'll make the night note after I talk to Joe Exotic. I'll post that up in the Discord. That was pretty banging today and looked really good. So I will continue to do that. We'll see what tomorrow is going to bring to us. And again, that SPY is looking interesting. So I will be keeping an eye on things in the morning. You know that. And I'll probably be up a little early to see what's going on here because I'm very, I'm definitely kind of like, which way does this thing want to go? But I do kind of think that it comes down there, and I've been thinking that. So it has me guessing, but not so much guessing. I think we're going to be right here. I don't think we're getting into the top, and I think we might see a little pullback there. So opening remarks are at 8:30 a.m. So there you go, Luis Rodriguez and everybody else. It's going to be an interesting one for sure. And I will enjoy that chat with Joe. Guy is a crazy. Yeah, he is. And let him know he entertained the shit. Oh, dude, I'm telling you, I don't watch any TV, guys. Like, literally, I don't watch anything on TV. And I saw that entire series. I watched pretty much all of it. I was definitely entertained. That's for sure. And we all, like I said, I talked to him last time, and I was saying, we all were stuck in our house during COVID. And the next thing you know, Joe Exotic comes out, the Tiger King, and we're all watching it on Netflix. And this guy, he was already in jail at this time, and this thing blows up, and he becomes like, and that was like a global sensation. That wasn't even just in America. That was like worldwide, guys. So it was huge. It was the biggest thing during COVID, and everybody was home watching it. It was probably I'd have to imagine, one of the most watched series on Netflix. I'd have to imagine. So there you go. And I'll chat with him, see what's going on. And his husband was deported. Yes, he was. I was going to ask him about all that stuff. So yeah, all kinds of crazy things going on. But so yeah, there you go, everybody. I would say that is a good market review right there. And we'll be back at 7 a.m. to see what's going on, and definitely see what's going on in this crazy market. So I'll see what's going on with Joe Exotic. We'll see what's going on in the market as well, and we'll get going from there tomorrow morning at 7. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. I greatly appreciate it. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. Thanks again for tuning in. Be sure to follow along on X and YouTube and all that good stuff. And I will see you guys in the morning. Enjoy the rest of your night. Little early night for you guys. So enjoy that. And I will see you guys at 7. Have a good night, everybody.